Suicide, the wrong answer. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'd like to welcome y'all back to another Beyond Fed Up video. This video, we're going to talk about suicide, some of the common causes, and how it is always the wrong answer. Before we get started, just want to give you a quick statistic. Roughly around every 18 minutes, someone dies from suicide. And every 43 seconds, someone tries to commit suicide. That's roughly 30,000 people a year dying from committing suicide and 750,000 people every year from attempting suicide. Wow. Those numbers are insanely high. I mean, any number above 0 is too high. So those numbers are ridiculously way too high. Anybody that's thinking about doing it or is about to try it, I'm going to try to give y'all some perspective. Some of the common causes you might notice y'all going through is depression. Some people are really depressed. Some are victims of abuse or they're victims of bullying. Normally you'll have people with really low self-esteem, or they'll have like an extreme feeling of helplessness that they just can't do right, or you know what, there's nothing that can help them out of the pit that they're in. They're suffering from pain and there's no way that they could be helped. You'll have it where people feel alone, like the rationale is that they feel like they're all alone. There's no one with them. No one can help them. That's the helplessness feeling. That if they're actually gone, then nobody is going to miss them for whatever reason. Like they might have people around them in their life, but nobody wants them around. So if they were gone, nobody would miss them. So then what's the sense in them actually being here? Or they might be victims of abuse. So since they have people constantly ridiculing them and abusing them and picking on them, then they'll think that people actually want them to die. Or, you know what, since life is so hard, then death might be easier. This is one reason why I'm definitely telling you suicide is always the wrong answer, because death can't possibly be easier than life, because there's no way that once you die it's going to get better. Your life is, obviously always going to get worse, because there's not going to be any more life. Trust me, yo. Trust me. No matter what you think you're going through in life, no matter how hard you think it is, no matter how bad you think your situation is, it can always get better. There's always a possibility it could get better. It might be highly unlikely to you. You might not be able to see it, but trust me, your life can always get better. Suicide is always the wrong answer. Like, one solution I look at it is that you can always look on the bright side of stuff. Like I just said, no matter what you're going through in life, it can always get better. Despite your situation, you're getting bullied, you're getting abused, you got real low self-esteem because you don't see yourself in the highlight. Trust me, it'll get better at some point in time. All you have to do is just give it time. You can always seek help. Like the feeling of helplessness or low self-esteem, like you can seek help and like talk to a teacher, talk to a family member, talk to a friend, or go somewhere that's not in your immediate circle and talk to a stranger and just get some advice. Go to a church and talk to a preacher or someone in the church. Talk to a religious leader and get some advice, get some perspective on life. Trust me, suicide is never going to be the best answer, the best possible thing you can do. Try to enjoy life. Like, there's good things about life. You're just not seeing it. Because sometimes when you have like a feeling of depression or the low self-esteem or the helplessness, you just thinking, you just seeing your immediate circle, or you just only worried about yourself. And sometimes it might look that way, where just nothing is going right. So you'll just think that nothing is right. But trust me, things can get right. And life is great if you find something to enjoy about it. Like, go get a hobby, get something to do that's positive, that's going to make you happy. Build model cars, or write a book, or make pottery, or start painting, or sing, or make music. Do something. Just do not put killing yourself as what you want to do. It's not going to be as great. Trust me. Go get a puppy or a pet. Like, if you go get a puppy, have a puppy, or you have a dog or a cat or something, you leave and you go to school or you go to work or something. When you come back, That puppy, that animal is going to be extremely happy to see you. And you trust me, if you feel depressed about yourself, go to an animal shelter and go get a puppy. Go get a dog or go get a cat. And trust me, you will see that somebody in this world is definitely going to love you. Trust me. Go get yourself a pet or anything. Just don't commit suicide. That's definitely not the answer. If you're thinking about committing suicide, go get yourself a puppy or go get yourself a hobby, and you'll be doing something way better. Analogy I'd like to think about it is I like to play chess. And whenever you're playing chess, what you always want to do is you always want to make the best move possible. Whenever you start the game or you're in the middle of the game or you're towards the end of the game, you always have an objective that you're trying to reach. So in life, try to set yourself some objectives. And when you're playing chess, whenever it's your move, I always seen it as though you have a move, you have a bunch of moves that you can make. You have a horrible move that you can make, and you always have the best possible move that you can make. But sometimes you'll notice if you know how to play chess, where you'll make a move, and then somebody else will make a move in return, and then you'll stop and think like, oh man, I could have made this move, it would have been way better. Try to think of that better move in advance and make that one. So before you rush to make a move, think, is there anything better that you can do that would be better than the move that you're about to make? And trust me, suicide is always the worst possible move. It's always the worst answer to any solution. Whether you're getting abused or you getting bullied, whether you have depression, you're real low self-esteem, you look in the mirror and you just feel bad about yourself 24/7, trust me, suicide is not the route. That's not the way to go. You will always be making the worst possible decision you could possibly make. There's the great move, there's the bad move. Not to make light of the situation, but if you were about to commit suicide, that's the bad move. Anything else you did could have been better. That should never be a resort that anyone takes. It should never be the only answer. Like the only answer you have is suicide or taking someone's life. That's not it. That's not the key. Trust me. A little bit of motivation for you is life will always get better. No matter how bad you think your life is, no matter how terrible your situation is, it will always get better at some point. As long as you try to make the best possible moves in making your life better. If you make all of the worst moves possible, then yes, of course, your life could probably get worse. Actually, just to be honest, life could always be worse. So you know what, since it's not worse, be thankful that it's not any worse than it is. There's always somebody that is going through a worse situation than you are. No matter how bad your situation is, there's always somebody worse off than you. So since you're not as bad as them, be thankful about that. Be thankful that the majority of the time you are in a situation where you can improve your circumstances. It might not look like it at the time, but you can improve your circumstances if you make the best moves towards improving your situation. So be thankful that you can improve your situation. Like no matter what you think, it always can get better. So be thankful for that. There are people who envy everything you have. You might think you have nothing, but there are people in this world that envy what you have and are depressed because they don't have it. Like, so your horrible situation is somebody else's dream. The worst circumstances you deal with, somebody else is praying that that is all they had to deal with. You might look at it and nobody can tell you that your situation is not hard within your own circumstances. Like nobody can tell you that your circumstances are not horrible just because in comparison to someone else's. But to think about it, if your situation is not really as bad as it can get and somebody else definitely has it worse, then you know what? Be happy about that. Be happy that your life is still good in comparison to somebody who definitely has it way worse than you. Last and not least, don't let your bully or your abuser or your attacker or your depression win. Somebody is trying to instill low self-esteem in you, or you know what, if somebody's abusing you or somebody's bullying you, don't let them win. If you commit suicide, that's giving in to their power that you've given them. Don't give them that power or that control over you. Take control of your own situation. Don't let them just constantly do stuff to you that makes you want to kill yourself. Like that's saying, yes, everything you're doing is perfect. You guys are right. You know what? It's showing them that what they're doing is working. At least, even if it does affect you, don't show it. Don't give in to their power. Like, don't let the bully win. Don't let your abuser or tormentor win. Always try to take charge of your situation, be in control. Like, don't let your situation control you. Control your situation. I talk about this and many other topics in my book, Beyond Fed Up. You could go to beyondfedup.com and follow us online. We got multiple links on there. Also, you can buy the book and you can read up on other topics that I cover and related to bullying and how to overcome it. I hope this helped anyone. If it did, pass along the word. Send out the link to the video, and just enjoy life. Don't give up. Trust me, yo. Suicide is always the wrong answer.